They laughed at him. They rolled their eyes when he spoke. And when he dared to dream, they told him to wake up and face reality. For years, Daniel was ignored. His voice didn't matter. His ideas dismissed before he even finished explaining them. In meetings, his words were drowned by louder men in suits. At family dinners, his cousins mocked his silly ambitions. Even his closest friends avoided him when he spoke of visions, bigger than their neighborhood. "Stop wasting your time," they said. "You're not cut out for that," they smirked. At first, he tried to fight it. He defended his ideas with passion. But every time he did, the rejection grew harsher. Slowly, the fire in his heart flickered under the weight of their mockery. He began to wonder. Maybe they were right. Maybe he was just a dreamer with no place in the real world. But what they didn't know was that Daniel was quietly building, learning, failing, and rising again in silence. Every insult became fuel. Every rejection sharpened his focus. And one day, the boy they mocked would stand taller than them all. The man they ignored would become the man they needed. And when their lives fell apart, they would come back, knocking on his door, begging for the very help they once ridiculed. Daniel grew up in a small town where reputation mattered more than dreams. His father worked in a factory. His mother cleaned houses, and money was always tight. Despite the struggles, Daniel had something most people didn't: vision. As a child, while others played, he sketched inventions. While others laughed at YouTube videos, he studied business models and read about great leaders. But instead of encouragement, he faced resistance from every corner. At school, teachers told him to aim lower. At church gatherings, relatives whispered that he was too ambitious. At his part-time job, coworkers ridiculed his attempts to read self-help books during lunch breaks. "Bro, no one gets rich from this town," his cousin Mark sneered one evening. "Better accept it. Get a job, live like the rest of us." But Daniel couldn't. Deep inside, he knew he was meant for something more. He began testing small ventures, selling refurbished phones, tutoring kids, even starting an online store. Each one failed in some way, but he never stopped. The failures made him stronger, but the people around him grew harsher. Every failure was another excuse for mockery. "See? Told you so. You're wasting your life." It wasn't just strangers, it was family. His own brother once said, "Daniel, you're embarrassing us. Just stop chasing stupid dreams." The rejection stung. At night, Daniel stared at the ceiling, doubting himself. But instead of quitting, he decided, "If no one believes in me, I'll believe in myself twice as much." That became his silent oath. Daniel's biggest challenge came when he applied for a job at a tech startup. He knew he had ideas that could change things. He prepared for weeks, studying, building a small demo product, rehearsing his pitch. But during the interview, the panel barely listened. One of them smirked. "You don't have the background for this. People like you don't make it here." "People like you," those words echoed in his mind. Rejected again. Walking out of that office, Daniel felt crushed. The city lights blurred through his tears. He thought of giving up, of throwing away the notebooks filled with ideas. But something inside screamed louder than his pain. Prove them wrong. For the next 2 years, Daniel lived in silence. He cut off distractions, worked late nights, and poured every ounce of energy into one idea: a software tool that made small businesses run smoother. While others partied, he coded. While others mocked, he hustled. While others doubted, he built. And then his idea worked. The tool gained traction. First 10 users, then 100, then thousands. Investors who once ignored his emails now begged to be part of his company. Within 3 years, Daniel's startup became a multi-million-dollar business. The same relatives who mocked him now bragged about being related to him. Old friends slid into his messages asking for jobs. Even his brother, the one who said he was embarrassing, came asking for financial help. And Daniel faced the toughest choice of all. Would he shut them out like they once shut him out? Or show them the grace they never gave him? It was a cold December night when Daniel returned to his hometown for the first time as a success. He pulled up in a car they said he'd never afford, wearing a suit they once mocked as unnecessary. At a community event, the same people who rejected him now shook his hand. They smiled nervously, their voices suddenly filled with respect. His cousin Mark approached sheepishly. "Daniel, I was wrong about you. I need your help. My business is failing." His brother lowered his head, unable to look him in the eye. "I'm sorry, man. I didn't believe in you." For a moment, Daniel remembered every insult, every rejection, every night of self-doubt. He could have turned his back. He could have laughed in their faces. But instead, he took a breath and said words that silenced the crowd. "You didn't believe in me, but I always believed in what was possible. And that's the difference between staying stuck and breaking free." That night, Daniel didn't just prove them wrong. He showed them what true strength looked like, turning pain into purpose and mockery into motivation. Daniel went on to expand his company globally. But more than wealth, he built something greater: dignity, respect, and inspiration for thousands of dreamers who once felt invisible. When asked in an interview what fueled his rise, Daniel said, "The rejection, the silence, the laughter. Without it, I might not have fought so hard. Pain became my teacher and doubt became my engine." His story spread worldwide, reminding people that being ignored doesn't mean you're unworthy. Being mocked doesn't mean you're incapable. Sometimes it means you're simply ahead of your time. For his family, friends, and community, Daniel became living proof that one person's belief in themselves can change everything. And for those who once rejected him, their regret became the harshest lesson of all. That day they learned never to mock someone's dream, because the very dream you laugh at may become the very lifeline you need tomorrow. What about you? If the people closest to you rejected your dreams, would you walk away or fight until your success made them listen?